that age of about 9 to 15, to me, is the one that's both poorly understood but also really inappropriately dealt with by adults in schooling, the way the schooling is set up. It doesn't allow for the kind of nurturing, connective relationships and the types of questioning and the kind of mentoring that really feeds a young person. So that's what we're hoping to do differently. So I wanted to share with you what the guiding principles are for our school and where those come from. We have 6 guiding principles. The first one is Intrinsic Gift. And the idea there is that every individual on this planet has something really unique that is within them. And it's not just because of their chromosomes, their DNA, or their parents, or their experiences. There's something else that's seeking expression. And at the time of the transition to adulthood, which is really around the 12, 13 point, that's when it starts making, pushing forward to try to come out in some way. And it comes out when it gets seen by adults who are not your parents. So that's kind of the old idea, that the parents are there to guard you, protect you, love you, nurture you, feed you, care for you, unconditionally love you. But they're not there to awaken your gift. That's the job of the extended family, the mentors, the uncles, aunts, the community, the village. When you reach the age of threshold transition is when the gift starts to need expression, and you need adults around you who recognize that and see it in you. And it can be very subtle the way it's recognized. But if it doesn't get recognized, it's a really kind of tumultuous, tormenting kind of experience for a lot of people. And they carry it into adulthood. And I have a quote from Joseph Chilton Pearce, who I love, and he says, "Adolescents sense a secret, unique greatness in themselves that seeks expression. They gesture toward the heart when trying to express any of this, a significant clue to the whole affair." So how that connects to the guiding principles. The first one is we hold to this idea that everyone has an intrinsic gift. That's the first one. The second part of the second guiding principle is what I call mentoring relationships. So the idea that teachers are there not just to lay out content and write on the board and invite you to solve problems, but the adults are there to know you, to question you, to see your gift, to awaken it, and to really support you as a mentor, as an elder. That's a role that's critical for any adults in a schooling environment or a community. So that's our second guiding principle. Third one is what I call collective responsibility. So the idea of collective responsibility is, how do you build that into the life of young people so that when they're actually moving into their 20s, they've had enough experiences being of service and doing things that help others, that their sense of collective responsibility is really well refined. And it is so naturally inborn in people that you meet, especially young people. They want to do something good in the world. That's just innate. It doesn't always get honored. It doesn't always get offered opportunity. But it's always there. So what actually predicts that one will have a meaningful, engaged life? Actually, interpersonal competence is a big one. And that's simply defined as, when I am about to have an interaction with somebody, how I think it's going to go is pretty close to how it goes. So it's knowing how the consequences of your interaction is going to unfold. And that's called interpersonal competence. And young people need to learn those skills. And some of the obvious ones are empathy, communication skills, conflict resolution skills, compassion. Those kinds of qualities are a big part of interpersonal competence. And for your gift to express itself in the world, you got to be able to deal with other people. Another very important one for us is the context within which all this happens. And in our school, we call that symbiotic learning. Symbiotic learning is based on the idea that if all content is seen as related, individuals will learn best. But it's more involved, but our container for all of this to happen is symbiotic education or symbiotic learning. And the final one of our guiding principles is what we call rigorous effort. And I saw a quote the other day that said, life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. And I really like that, because fundamentally you have to refine your skills, your gifts, your talents. And you don't do it by ease. And I don't mean to say that everybody has to be challenged and have ordeals all the time. But it is really how we encounter challenge and push ourselves through fear that we refine our gift.